What's going on, smart people? Today was my first day back. It was my first day of my second semester of my first year of grad school, and actually also my first day as a real grad student, but you get the idea. Yesterday's video, I mentioned that I will probably be going over syllabus stuff in today's video, what we're going to be covering in the classes that I'm taking. Today I had two classes. One was Quantum Mechanics 2, and the other was the second semester of Quantum Field Theory. Now, for Quantum 2, I didn't actually get a syllabus today. It seems like everyone forgot and we just jumped straight into the material pretty much right where we left off last semester. But it's fine that I didn't get a syllabus because I really have a good idea of what we're going to be covering in the class anyways. It's also the least interesting probably of the two classes I just mentioned, so I think you'll forgive me. But for Quantum 2, I know for certain that we're going to be doing angular momentum because that's what we started off with today, so I'm assuming soon that'll lead to addition of angular momentum and things like Clebsch-Gordon coefficients. I also know for certain that we're going to be doing perturbation theory, and those are the big things that you can't leave out. There's other optional topics like scattering or variational methods that you can include or leave without. I'm assuming we'll be getting into scattering, but I'm not quite sure. That's to be decided. Now, as for Quantum Field Theory 2, this is actually a course that I'm not technically registered for. It's a course I'm sitting in on so that I can narrow down by the end of the year whether I want to go the perturbative QCD or the lattice QCD route. So really I wanted to become more familiar with second quantization and the path integral. And this course in quantum field theory, this I actually do have a syllabus for. It's the second part course, and the contents of the course include path integrals in quantum mechanics and quantum field theory, perturbative expansion and Feynman rules, QED, which is quantum electrodynamics, non-abelian gauge theory, so I'm assuming that's when we'll start to get into QCD, which is quantum chromodynamics, the Higgs mechanism, you've probably heard of that before, gauge fixing and ghosts, the standard model, which you've probably heard of before, loop corrections, and renormalization. I know my professor emphasized that he's hoping that we get to renormalization. Today in class for quantum field theory, what we went over was effectively deriving the path integral from basic non-relativistic quantum mechanics. We took the matrix element of the time evolution operator, did a bunch of fancy stuff, and we ended up with the exponent of the action and some other stuff, and we ended up with the path integral. As you could probably deduce from the context, there is also a Quantum Field Theory 1, which I haven't taken, hence why I'm only sitting in on the second half of the course. You might ask, why even bother sitting in on a course like Quantum Field Theory if you haven't had the first half yet? Are you going to understand anything? I think so, and the reason for this is that I know that the first half was taught from the second quantization approach. Basically, there's two main approaches to quantum field theory, second quantization and the path integral. And the first half was all second quantization, something that I feel I have a moderate grasp of. But in a way, you don't really have to know second quantization to get the path integral and vice versa. They're independent methods of arriving at quantum field theory. So since the first semester is the second quantization approach and this semester is the path integral, I don't think it's unreasonable to think that you could tackle one without the other, assuming you do a fair amount of reading up on some of the essential things, like what is the Dirac equation, and maybe go over things like S matrices. At the moment, what makes it completely reasonable is the fact that I'm not paying for the class, I'm just sitting in, so it can't negatively affect my GPA. It can only benefit me, really, because it's just experience that I'm trying to gain from this. Now, having said that, in order for a class to be offered at NMSU, at least 5 people have to be registered to take it, and as of right now, only 4 people are. Now, apparently, other people are supposed to be registering, so it should fill the gap of that one student that needs to take it. But if something goes wrong, then there would only be 4 people, and they may not be able to actually offer the course unless I registered for it. That might not be necessary. Like I said, some people are supposed to be pushing through with registration and getting that 5 people that they need. But if they do need me to register, there have to be a few hoops to jump through. For one, I'm already taking 3 classes. I'm registered for quantum mechanics, statistical mechanics, and computational physics. However, computational physics is offered every spring, so I could just take that next spring instead and then fill the gap with quantum field theory. That is possible. The next thing is I'd have to go through some administrative things. For one, I haven't taken quantum field theory 2, and I'd have to see if they think that that's a terrible idea. I'd assume that they'd have to assess me on how much I know about regular quantum field theory in order to convince them that I should or should not be able to enroll in the class officially. So we'll see how it goes. I'm not too sure if that's going to be the path that I end up taking. They did go ahead and give me a pretest for the Quantum Field Theory 1 to see what people remember from that course, and they want me to still take it just, for reference to see what I know already about quantum field theory. So it's things like the Dirac equation, classical Lagrangian field theory, free quantum field theory, and interacting field theory. I know that's a little bit vague, but so they want me to answer some of these questions and try not to look things up, you know what I mean? See what I actually know, what's actually in my mind. And I guess that would be a good way of assessing if it's fair or if it's reasonable for me to take the course for credit now. It's probably not going to be necessary. I'm sure someone's going to fill that last spot so that I can just sit in, no pressure, just auditing the class. Personally, I don't really care either way. If the only way for the class to go on is if I take it, I'd be fine with that. I think it would be fine. Let me know in the comments section, what would you do? Would you take the class, or would you just say, no, I'm not comfortable doing that, let's wait until next year or something like that? Tomorrow, I'll probably be doing the same thing, going over the syllabus, the course contents for the classes that I have tomorrow, which is statistical mechanics and computational physics. So, I guess you know what to expect. But yeah, let me know in the comments section, if you were in my position, what would you be leaning more towards? And I'll see you guys there.